Hey guys, you don't want to miss this. If you want to get condensed updates around the Microsoft 365 changes, feature enhancements, and overall new features that are coming, be sure to stay tuned because I highlight the top ones across the Microsoft suite of offerings, including Teams, 365 apps, admin changes, pricing updates, and much more. My name's Nick, I'm a Microsoft MVP, and I've been creating content here in the channel for the better half of a decade. Let's go ahead and dive into these updates, starting with Microsoft Teams. Okay guys, so before we dive in here, just a quick reminder that I do supplement these videos with a blog post down below, so be sure to check that out after you're done watching this video. Kicking off with Microsoft Teams here, we're going to start off with the first announcement, which is scheduling channel messages within a Teams chat. This is something that I think is most valuable when you think about off-hours messaging and wanting to schedule that much like we do and can do with Outlook today. Timelines for this one will be early February and be complete by mid-February. Next one here is related to a pop-out of the chat, Copilot, and notes panes and meetings. You can see that here in the screenshot down below. This is something that you get today if you're familiar with the screen share experience within Teams, where you can pop that out, have that in one window, and have all of the meeting participants video sharing in a different window. They're extending this into messages, which I think is pretty cool. This will happen early February and be complete by late February. Next announcement here is related to being able to forward a message to and from channels. This will give you this prompt here with the ellipsis. You can click on forward and then be able to select a other channel or group chat or one-on-one chat to forward this to. This will happen late January, be complete by early February. Similar functionality here if you leverage loops and loop workspaces here within Microsoft Chat within Teams. Last month we covered this is now a capability where you could add a loop workspace to a Teams channel. This is now giving you the ability to forward those messages with loop components, and this will happen late January, be complete by early February. Similar functionality here from a sharing perspective. This is giving users the ability to share apps and Microsoft 365 Copilot agents. Obviously, the Copilot agents needs that Copilot licensing, but if you're looking to share an app, you'd be able to do so here from the left-hand nav, as you can see here in this screenshot. Timelines for this one will be early January, be complete by late January. Next one here is just kind of an expansion of a functionality that was only available in Teams Chat into the Teams channels as well, which is giving users the ability to record a video clip. They can record a clip of a shared screen or of themselves and pop that into a channel now. This will happen mid-January and be complete by late January. This next announcement is related to if you have a live event or some type of webinar going on where you have Q&A activity and moderators that are part of the experience, where you're giving users the ability to privately reply to attendee questions without having to expose that to the rest of the broader audience. This is just enhancing communication privacy. This will happen early January and be complete by late January. Next one here is a Teams Premium feature. This is a watermark for anonymous meeting join. Previously, if you had anonymous unauthenticated users joining and there was a watermarked meeting, they wouldn't be able to see anything visually. They would just hear audio. This is extending that, so now they just have the watermark of their name actually on the actual presentation, as you can see here as an example within this screenshot. Timelines for this one is mid-March and be complete by late March. Next one here is if you leverage or have licensing for Teams Premium or Copilot, and this is the functionality for the intelligent meeting recap. This is giving users the ability to share this directly into Outlook versus having to copy that, open Outlook, open an email, and then paste that in there. So just saving some clicks and some steps. This will happen late February and be complete by mid-March. Next one here is not a premium feature. This is something that you get as part of any meeting experience where you have a recap of the meeting. It doesn't include some more of the advanced functionality like the intelligent summary, but it does include things like the resources shared, such as files, as well as that transcript. This is giving users the ability to just copy a link really quickly and be able to share that in one-on-one chats and things of that nature. This will happen mid-February, be complete by late February. Hey guys, just a quick announcement here. If you're looking for a tool to help automate your Microsoft 365 security assessments in minutes, definitely check out a tool I built called Cloud Capsule. You can sign up for free and run a free assessment. Performing that action just takes a few minutes here. All you need to do is add a domain name of a tenant you want to run an assessment on. You'll grant consent to the permissions we need to read the data in the tenant. And within seconds, you'll start to have the information streaming from the tenant back into this comprehensive report that also maps across different compliance standards like CIS and NIST CSF. You can quickly in the portal go ahead and brand this portal with your logo. And then if we go back to that particular tenant, you'll have a white labelable PDF that you can share with the customer to have a better security conversation as part of your security practice. So be sure to check this out. It's cloudcapsule.io to run a free assessment, and I'll link that here in the description of this video. Shifting into Outlook here, the toggle to new Outlook is something that a lot of us aren't looking forward to based off the feedback that I'm seeing. Not a lot of people are enthused about the new Outlook yet, but this is something Microsoft's going to start forcing upon us, where they're automatically going to opt you in to the new Outlook with the ability to opt out. This is going to start first for SMB and Microsoft Business SKUs in January of 2025 in a slow rollout. And then it will extend into the enterprise customers in the April 2026 timeframe. There are some asterisks here. If you are managing this as an admin, you can prevent this from actually auto-converting people, and I'll have information for that on my blog. But these are some timelines that you need to be aware of as far as the conversion to new Outlook. Another feature request likely that a lot of users submitted for Microsoft that they've added for new Outlook experience is the ability to support more of the PST file functionality, including moving, copying, deleting, and categorizing PST files, as well as dragging and dropping the files from a PST file into a mailbox. This will happen early March and be complete by late March. Next one here is for delegation of a mailbox. Classic EA scenario, maybe of a CEO's mailbox is a good example here, where you have the capabilities and granularity to manage categories on the owner's calendar. This will happen mid-February and be complete by mid-March. Next one here is related to iOS and Android functionality for Outlook, giving users the capability to attach an email as they're composing an email message. Previously, they could only forward emails as attachments, so just expanding that functionality, and you can see that reflected in those screenshots here. Timelines for this one's early January, be complete by late February. Shifting into the Microsoft 365 apps here, end of life announcement. This is an application which is called Viva Goals. Many of you may have not been using this. I don't think it's widely popular, hence why they're deprecating it, but I was using it personally. It's OKR software, goal setting software from Microsoft, and apparently there wasn't enough adoption to keep this going from an investment perspective. So this will be retired next year, and they'll stop doing any feature enhancements or any improvements on it at the end of this year. Next one here is related to announcement with Microsoft Forms integration with Microsoft Excel. This is something I've talked about in the past. They've opened this up for direct integration from like a live feed into a Excel sheet that's tied to a Microsoft form. So this is giving users the ability to open it in the desktop application, as well as being able to create a new form from the Excel desktop app that you can see here in the screenshot. Timelines on this one were actually mid-November, so a little bit previous to this month, but be complete by mid-February as far as when you'll be able to see that functionality. Last one here for the Microsoft apps is also deprecation of Microsoft Search and Bing. Again, don't think there's a high footprint here that people or users were adopting in the sense of one, Microsoft Bing, but also if you're familiar with it, there's a work tab at the top of Bing where you're searching. You can actually search the context of your files in Microsoft 365. And Microsoft wants to push you obviously to the Copilot functionality, the free version of that, as well as search in office.com. That searches through the graph context of all of your chats, your files, folders, things like that. So just be aware of that coming in March of next year. Shifting into the admin section here, some new functionality or a new V2 version of message trace for Microsoft Exchange is coming for admins. This is giving you some highlighted capabilities here. There's a lot to this announcement, so be sure to check out my blog. But some of the highlights here, some extended query range from 90 days instead of 30. Some additional subject filters that you can use, as well as some additional delivery status filters. There are more announcements related to this, including some updates to PowerShell if you're using PowerShell to pull these message trace queries. So be sure to check that out in the blog. This will happen mid-December, so by the time you're watching this, should be available. Next one here is just GA capabilities of universal print for Mac OS. There's a screenshot of a Mac OS device and some of the settings there for using universal print and the printers that are discovered there. You can either push this out manually on a device and install it manually, or you could use an MDM solution like Intune to remotely push this out. But just know that's GA today if you have Macs under management. Next one here is kind of more of a broader expansion of admin capabilities for Microsoft Loop. Talked about this in previous videos, but obviously there's a lot of data now that we're storing in Microsoft Loop. If you have that as co-collaboration for certain files, or information that people are co-collaborating, co-authoring. And so this is giving you, as you can see here in the SharePoint Admin Center, a new section called Containers, where these Loop components or Loop workspaces will live, that you can manage the whole data lifecycle. And this is going to be really important for data protection and data governance overall. Timelines for this one, late January and be complete by late April. Next one here, if you leverage Defender for Office 365 and use a third party for reporting phishing emails like KnowBe4 or Proofpoint, this is giving you as an admin the capability to configure the settings so that it automatically sends the messages that are user reported to Microsoft as well too for some further analysis. You can choose whether or not you want to do this or not. There's some benefits there, obviously, of having some second party looking at it, and it's tied into the native alerts within Defender for Office 365, even if you're using those third parties. So that's nice. Timelines for this one will be early February and be complete by mid-February. Last one here is just kind of an extension of an announcement last month that I wanted to really highlight, which is updates to prices and price increases that are becoming across all plans, including CSP, which mostly my listeners are in the CSP program. But basically, if you have an annual subscription in NCE that you pay monthly, annual commit paid monthly, you're going to experience a 5% increase starting in April 1st of 2025. This is something where a lot of us are on this because we don't want to pay the 20% premium of doing month to month. And so we're on that type of a plan that's consumable. You would avoid the 5% increase if you prepaid annually. Not a lot of people want to do that though in SMB. Key call out here though is an asterisk that if you have NCE renewals before this April 1st, 2025 timeframe, you will still renew into the legacy pricing model. Therefore, you would not have a price increase till 2026. So just be aware of that. It's important to call out, but something to be aware of as far as communicating these price increases with your customer. Shifting into the last section here, Copilot. Not a lot of us are still adopting this in a broad sense, but it's important to keep up to date with the announcements here. So first one's related to Outlook and being able to have this prepare with Copilot button functionality that you can see here in the screenshot, which basically pulls in a lot of context from Microsoft Graph for what you might need to do to review before this meeting. You can see that here in these screenshots as potential examples. Timelines for this one's mid-January and be complete by mid-February. Next one here is related to Copilot Biz Chat and auto suggestions for prompts. So just trying to help out, as you'll see in these next few announcements, with prompt engineering for users and giving them some guidance there. This is recommendations based off of what they searched in the past and contextual information coming across the organization. And you'll continue to hear me say Copilot Lab, as you can see in those parentheses there. That's really where they're storing a bunch of these predefined prompts that users can leverage to hopefully drive new adoption. So this one is going to happen mid-December, be complete by late January. So maybe seeing that by the time you watch this video. Additionally here for BizChat, it's giving the users the ability to share prompts with a coworker as part of Copilot Lab. And this is just helping, again, maybe it's interdepartmental that has a prompt that you could leverage maybe as part of sales that everybody in the sales team can use as an example, or at a macro layer, maybe it's just a better prompt to be able to summarize your mailbox, right? Something like that, just to increase the collaboration there of Microsoft Copilot. Timelines on this one's late December and be complete by early January. Next one here is image input support. So this is giving users the ability to add an image to a chat and be able to ask questions about it for context, such as analyzing or describing it. This will happen late January and be complete by late February. Next one here is from Microsoft Teams and the newly announced Copilot agents. A lot of this was broadly brought into awareness at Microsoft Ignite, but this is the ability to add an agent to a group to be able to query off of certain questions or one-on-one chats there.
And this is obviously the prerequisite here being that you do need to create the agent before you're able to leverage this, and that's a whole rabbit hole to go down, but something that could be helpful there depending on your organization. Timelines for this one's late January and be complete by late February. And then the last one here that we have today is just an easier way for users to delete Copilot activity history in their Microsoft account. Previously, there was kind of a nested experience of having to go to the My Accounts page, which is really nested if you've ever been there, and complicated for users. So this is bringing that more to the forefront of the context of where they're going to be chatting a lot. Most specifically, Microsoft Teams is probably one of the largest locations they're going to be chatting with the Biz Chat functionality. So as you can see here in the screenshots, giving a user the ability to delete their Copilot activity directly from this application. This will happen early January and be complete by late January.
Okay guys, that's everything I had for this video. Definitely comment below with some of the features or updates that you're most excited about. And be sure, if you're not already, to subscribe to the channel to get these updates each month. I'll see you guys next week.